Alright. What's up, everybody? Here we are with the Florencio Files. It is, of course, Florencio himself on his Storm Gaming account, representing one of my favorite pro teams in the North American scene. We've got him sending an early SCV out, and he is up against E-Troy the G. That's right, the G. Not top G, thankfully. We'll see what interesting comments will be potentially made after, of course, falling victim to Florencio's foul strategies. For those who don't know Florencio is a man who's been playing StarCraft for over 20 years. But not a normal man. More of a merman, as some would say. But not a normal merman. Not with nice, beautiful, tail swimming out in the ocean having a good time. Florencio is a little bit more of a sewer mermaid, as some have called him. A filthy merman. Let's just say if a normal mermaid likes it in the nice, clean ocean. Florencio is what happens when those plastic things get stuck around a turtle's neck and it has babies with a fish that somehow has a hook in its gills. And then some octopus comes over, eats both of them, somehow gets pregnant with their baby, and then just shoots out some monstrosity. That's essentially what Florencio is. He's a weirdo. He's been playing the game for over 20 years, and his whole joy of the game is finding weird, unique mechanics and ways to troll his opponents. He's been doing it for such a long time, and he continues to innovate. Recently, he's been settling into a new job and a new flow with streaming and figuring out some fun new strategies and things. So we haven't seen too much of him lately. People have been demanding more games of him. And he sent me this one. So let's see what he's got. This is actually a really interesting start. He's going to try and land the barracks in here. But this Zerg, the G, respecting it, is trying to... Oh, he's trying to create a little choke. He misplaced it, though. He needed that depot one space to the left. This is actually such a clever idea from Florencio. He wanted to create a choke point in which he could hide his Marines. But I think in general, you've made them pull 10 drones. This is not bad damage. He's building SCVs behind it. He starts a factory in a second gas. So he doesn't get to do a cool little wall-off with a Marine in the back where the drones can't touch it, but it's still a massive distraction and a huge amount of damage going down. The G's chasing him off is like, oi! Oi! And I think the G showing a lot of respect, which is really, this is the best way to play for people out there on the ladder. I would say a lot of people, they get too worried about losing a bit of mining time. The G here ensures that the G doesn't go down, overreacts rather than underreacts, which is exactly what you do when you're getting cheesed. Now, this bodes both very well and very poorly for the G, because Florencio is going to continue to be annoying. He lands the barracks and starts a Reaper. That Reaper does take 32 seconds to build. I don't know if that's going to get out in time. The drones, though, are losing an immense amount of mining time. Zerglings coming in as well, and they will add a lot of damage. The barracks is burning right now. Reaper's only about halfway done. He has to cancel it and pull it back. No, he's going to go for a scout. Okay, so he's just going to sacrifice it through to scout what's going on behind this. An extra command center is on the way. The factory's up, but oh man, it's 3 minutes in and he hasn't even built his second depot yet. Oh no, that Florencio macro getting the better of him once again here, as he does start building Hellions one at a time. It's going to be very slow before he gets any sort of follow-up pressure going. That barracks is going to burn down. And it looks like the Zerg player building 2 Evo chambers is going to hang out. He did select the barracks for a moment there. Technically he could drop a mule to repair. His orbital does just finish and he's going to do it! No! Oh, but the barracks burns down just in time. Only Florencio would think to drop a mule to repair his bloody barracks that's floating outside the enemy base so he could go back in for more scouting. Ends up saying, well, I might as well use the mule for something. He sees the baling nest and 2 Evo chambers at the front. Doesn't really get too much info out, and he's up to a second command center. So he's freaked out his opponent. The G here trying to rush upgrades, which is decent, but you can tell the economy is at a bit of a standstill, right? Only 10 workers on minerals in the natural, 12 in the main. Definitely a very damaged economy. On the other hand, the G is making upgrades, making a third base, making tech, putting Zerglings out. This does not bode well for Florencio. This is what I was about to talk about before. Florencio's specialty is putting his opponents in like a weird tilted place. It's running in with Hellions, burning drones, battle cruisers coming in from the other side, and he's running in from every different angle being a dickhead. But this is an opponent who's responded, even over-responded, you could say. But then they just smoothly gone back to macro. They've got map control. They're even building spore crawlers. The G's impressing me right now with their ability to just kind of navigate their way through the game despite a very messy start. And of course, Florencio is always about slowly expanding and harassing and tech switching until his opponent gets confused and their brain breaks. But the G calmly scouting, sees the natural expansions empty, and is going to have a bit of a good time. So far, no real hero units in this game. Something I've realized in my last few Florencio Files casts is I haven't really been pointing out as many hero units, but there haven't been any just yet. I would say that Mule probably gets our first mention. Maybe not a hero, but someone that should be remembered for following the orders, dropping onto the other side of the map, and then going into scout and sacrificing its robotic life. But 5 Hellions have built up now. That's a pretty decent number. They definitely could go roasty toasty. Lowers his depot. Looks like he's starting to rally SCVs to that natural. You can see him setting his rally points there. Third command center's up pretty quick as well. And indeed, it is burning time. Hellion's going to drive out on the map. Does get one Zergling down. There's not many units on the map. 4 Queens, 3 Zerglings for the Zerg. Lots of upgrades. Burrow, +1 range, Carapace, Ling speed, all on the way right now. There is a Spine and a few Queens defending the natural, but the third is wide open. And like I said, 5 Hellions is a lot. Rotron goes down as well. The G does not have a lot of units right now. Uh-oh. Florencio's going to be diving in towards this natural. He does scan, starts taking down those creep tumors. And there we go. Oh, no. Oh, the Queen. Barely. She doesn't get back in the door. Oh, and the drones. Okay, they do actually get out of there, but a bunch of them go down. Already 6 drones falling. 4 Hellions diving up into the main base. Queen's going to start doing some damage. Takes down one. Needs to kill another, though, before they lose their one-shot ability. Oh, nice timing on those Lings. The Hellions do go down. A total of 9 drones for 5 Hellions. It's okay. It's not the most resounding success, but it'll do for now. The problem, of course, for Florencio is that there's a Ling blocking his third from landing. A single little Ling. The little Ling that could. He's got the middle finger up above his head, and he says, hey, did you want to land here? And for some reason, the guy driving the command center is like, oh, the landing regulations say if the foundation is ever so slightly unstable, then, like, we just can't do it because, like, it might be on a slight slant. And you're like, seriously, dude, this thing has got to weigh like 1,000 tons. Just drop it on the Ling, crush it. And it's like, what, can you not land it on a flower? Come on, man. Anyways, he does end up clearing up with the Hellions. 3 starports on the way, so an air switch. The Zerg player, the G, now getting a lair. 48 drones, spreading creep tumors, putting spines. I feel like there is a problem here. I keep mentioning this, but at no point is the G freezing up completely. The map vision is out there. I think the G might even use multiple control groups. Oh my god, they do. They've got an army group, a queen group, an evo group, a hatchery group. And for some reason, Overlord hotkey. I don't know why they have an Overlord hotkey, but they do. That's hilarious. Is there a reasoning for that? That's so weird, man. Anyways, Hellion's going to run in the left side right now. We've got 7 Hellions. They're going to dive right past, but ooh, they get a taste of that tentacle. And they decide they're not sure if they want to put any more of that in their mouth. Definitely, they don't know where it's been. Ooh, okay, Lings are going to try and defend. The Spine's getting a crazy amount of damage. And Burrow on the drones. The G with the sick plays. Oh, that's cool, man. That is very cool. He could use the splash damage, though. Look, he's attacking the buildings, is Florencio. But he's still hitting the drones that are in the ground, even while attacking the buildings. So he actually gets a lot more drones here. 5 more workers on top of what he killed earlier. And look at that. You can see the splash damage once again hitting a drone. But at the end of the day, that's still 58 workers Zerg. He's got a 4th base on the way. Florencio, he's kind of desperate. He's down 15, 16 workers. He's going 3-port BC, though. He's been saving gas all game long. And if there is one thing that he's been waiting for, it's the cavalry, right? Everyone else was just waiting. They're going to look to the east or whatever on the bloody, you know, the 5th day. I mean, I guess he's not really being sieged. I don't know if the Helm's Deep analogy really works here too well. I'm going to go ahead and say nah. Probably nah. Anyways, Lings are massing up 4th base there with the double gas as well. He's going to take a 5th base on the top right. Dude, the G's macroing, and the Spire is the scariest thing for Florencio. Florencio's scanning. Okay, I think he's looking for the Spire because you really want to kill that Spire. Otherwise, they'll build Corruptors. And he sees it! He knows where the Spire is. Ooh, and the G, on the other hand, has no idea what's up. Hasn't sent an Overseer in at all. I mean, you see someone building planetaries, you definitely should be thinking about battle cruisers. But Florencio's first 2 BCs pop out. He's going to wait for that 3rd one as well. Yamato starts up there. Okay, the first 2 BCs aren't even going to wait. He says, no, I cannot let a single Corruptor build or I'm screwed. Because if Corruptors get out, all his eggs are in that basket. He's going to teleport and he ignores the Queens and goes straight for the Spire. 15 seconds till the Spire finishes, but it's not going to make it. The 3rd battlecruiser comes in as well. The BCs starting to gun down the Queens. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man, is this just going to be game over? There's nothing that shoots up. He just killed all the Queens and the Spire. Oh, the G is looking absolutely diddled right now. Is Florencio literally just going to win the game with 3 battlecruisers? It looks that way. He's building more Widow Mines, more BCs behind. He's got planetaries and Widow Mines, so a link counterattack can't do anything. Normally in this scenario, you send your ground army across the map to distract them and try to pull some of the battlecruisers home. But in this case, it's not going to work at all. Oh my god, so many workers going down. And the Widow Mines plus the planetary are going to be devastating. Oh no. The SCVs don't even need to repair that. Oh, some Banelings rolling in. Could do some decent damage. Oh, the Banelings get a few of them. He's going to hide a bunch of the SCVs inside the planetary. Pops them in, pops them out. Florencio, as you guys know, is a master of the old in and out. He's been using the pull-out technique in his family for many years. Completely unrelated note. Did you guys know Florencio actually has 12 siblings? Interestingly enough. I've heard that not many of them play StarCraft, but they actually practice the dark arts in many other areas of life. So completely unrelated facts there, but just something I thought you guys should know about. Only recently found that out himself, hoping to meet them all one day. Should be a lot of fun. Battlecruisers are killing a lot of overlords, dude. He's killed an extra 25 workers. He's already killed 7 overlords, make it 8. But problem, the Spire is rebuilding, and there's so many bases up. Dude, the G may have thrown an army around the counterattack. Okay, was that the best move? No, but actually killed some SCVs with an army that otherwise couldn't do anything. Is building 9 corruptors and 12 more workers. Oh no. I told you guys earlier that the G was showing signs of being a player who wasn't easily distracted, and that's a big problem, because Florencio's whole strategy is to distract his opponent, screw with them, and have them make terrible mistakes, and in this scenario, that's not happening at all. Florencio's just flying over with his BCs, but with 10 corruptors coming out, that's more than a match for these boys. Luckily, though, he's been in here so long, teleport's ready, so he can get home. I feel like the G, though, might be one of these players that can just withstand all of the punches Florencio throws his way and still comes out looking good. Yamato focuses the hatchery down, teleport home. Oh, one of the BCs just barely goes down. The other two do teleport to safety, though. I mean, overall, obviously, the units lost tab is amazing for Florencio, almost 4-1. That doesn't matter, though, if you've given the Zerg room to take the entire map. A lair does have to rebuild from scratch, but there's a Spire up, a Hydroden up, 67 workers versus 49. The Zerg is down in supply right now, but Florencio doesn't really have a follow-up. Okay, yes, he does. He's got 13 Widow Mines and 6 Battlecruisers. The Zerg will need Banelings to deal with this. I know that sounds silly because obviously Widow Mines are good versus Banelings, but when you're running around with a big clump of Widow Mines, 3 Banelings in the middle of that will kill every single one. So Banelings are actually the counter to mass Widow Mines. Widow Mines mixed in with a Bio Army are the counter to Ling Bane, because just a few of them spread out and support the army really well. But this is so vulnerable to some Banelings running in. Right now, Corruptors can deal with the BCs, but actually 11 versus 6, no they can't. Florencio did forget to repair his BCs, bit of a problem, but they've only taken about 100 damage each. He can Yamato 6 Corruptors and then just beat the other 5 that are left over. More Corruptors are building right now. He's moving forward. Florencio's coming in with the Widow Mine Assault. He's going Cyclones behind it as well. He hasn't made the Mag Field upgrade just yet, but we'll see what he can do. The Widow Mine's going to set up a bit of a trap here. BC's going to fly in and try to bait the Corruptors into this. Uh-oh, the G is in big trouble. A couple of these drones will get blasted, but not able to reach most of them just yet. Mass Yamato kills the lair. Oh, devastating. And the BCs just teleport home. Very wise decision there. Corruptors have got to be careful. There's still a bunch of Widow Mines that could fire, and these Corruptors are accidentally on follow on the Queen. The Queen goes down, as do a couple of Corruptors there. How many BCs has he lost this game? It's still just the one initial one, and he's swapping into Cyclones to counter those Corruptors. Unfortunately for him, 70 workers. Oh no. I mean, I remember we cast a game once where the guy had 300 APM he was versing, and everything Florencio did didn't matter because the Zerg just like rebuilt everywhere. And this reeks of that exact game. This really makes me feel like it's the same sort of map where I'm pretty sure Florencio lost that game even though he kept doing so much damage because he just wasn't taking a 4th or a 5th at the same rate. And look at this, the burrowed Zerglings actually make it very annoying. He needs to send units and detection, kill the Zergling, then build or land the command center. That's a lot of work for him to do. Whereas the Zerg's already up on 6 bases, static defense everywhere, infestation, even adding Hydralisks, which already have 2/2 upgrades. Unfortunately, no Groove Spines just yet, but it's queued up. Oh my god. Unlike when he used to play Protoss and everyone always forgot Hydra upgrades, both Hydra upgrades 2/2. He's never going to get upgrades for his BCs for the armories because Florencio just doesn't believe in upgrades. He always wants to make units that'll go kill you right now and then tech switch into something else. He does not. Everyone else is all sunk cost fallacy. Florencio doesn't even understand how to invest in anything for more than 3 seconds, right? The rest, people out there be having FOMO. Florencio is not worried about that at all. He goes in, snipes hatch. No, he leaves the hatchery alive. Okay, he has to turn around. Goes back and gets it, though. mass Yamatos at base. I mean, he's getting good damage with this harass. The question is, can he actually max out? He's going Ravens, Magfield, and Corvid Reactor. Plus 25 energy on those. The BCs will teleport back to safety. And he's up to 7 battle cruisers right now. Now, Ravens have kind of unlimited efficiency, so that could be cool. Oh, that was a bait! He lures him to the top right, runs in the bottom left at the exact same time. And here we go, he locks onto the hatchery. Unfortunately, 2 of those Cyclones did not get the lock-ons, but he should still be able to kill it, and you can see... Oh, but the scan runs out, so that actually breaks the lock-on. It would have gone for a few more seconds to finish it. He has to run back in and drop another scan, but nonetheless, a double hatchery snipe. The G a little too slow to respond with the Ling Hydra Corruptor. Luckily for the G, they are still up on 4 bases, 83 workers. Rebuilding this hatchery. Would love to see that hatchery rebuilt as well. Question is, what composition does the Zerg play? They've got 19 Corruptors, which is probably the perfect number for 7 BCs. You could go a couple more to ensure you beat him, but it's not bad. But he's also got, what, 12 Hydras, 4 Queens on the ground. Now the Corruptor's flying forward. Oh, no! Flying into Magfield Cyclones. That is a disaster. Magfield Cyclones eat Corruptors for breakfast, taking down about 7 Corruptors just like that. The Corruptors in the north do find another one, but in the bottom, every Corruptor goes down, and the command center is barely tickled. What in the hell, man? All right, the Corruptors on the top side starting to damage the command center. It's going down. It's taking a lot of damage. At least he's going to kill it. He even unzips his fly. He says, "What's up, Sewer Mermaid? I hear you like some sewage." Gives him a bit of a taste of that Zerg medicine. Florencio's not going to be happy about that. Having his 4th and 5th both denied at the same time. Still burrowed Zerglings on both these bases. This is a massive move right now, because that means Flo's stuck on 3 base against a Zerg who's maxed out, and he's going to start building bank. Massive income advantage for the Zerg. 1,400 minerals more a minute, 500 more gas a minute. I mean, this is really bad. Look at that. Some Widow Mines getting taken out. Unfortunately, though, they threw away most of the Corruptors, which means there's not enough anti-air to deal with the Battlecruisers or the Ravens right now. He's got Roaches on the ground. Infestors coming out. I think he might be overcomplicating things. I think pure Corruptor Hydra would get the job done. Here comes some Magfield. And look how quickly those lock-ons kill the hatchery. He even adds Yamato on top. Oh my god, it was already dead. He just Yamato'd a dead hatchery 5 times. Florencio, the Chad gamer that he is, going for broke. Auto turret's getting dropped down here. Zerg's getting ready for a big swarming engage. We're about to see it. Oh, here we go. Lings, Hydras, Corruptors running in. There's a lot of auto turrets all over the place. Wow, Florencio's auto turrets are getting value, but he is getting swarmed over right now. Battlecruiser is going to teleport out. Down to the left, though. That means there's no way home. Unlike the Spider-Man movie, I don't know if this one's going to be something that Florencio enjoys that much. This is really bad, because he's used his teleports up. The Zerg cleans the whole army, only loses 1 hatchery. That one survives. He does lose a bunch more workers down here, though, so the economic damage is starting to stack up, but I worry for Florencio. Remember, he lost his 4th and 5th base. The drones get taken down by the Widow Mines, but now there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Hydra's coming in with 2-2, the Corruptors as well. Fungal even going down to make it impossible for him to get out of there. And they are going to get shot out of the skies. Oh, man, he spent all game building the BCs up. And they're taken out just like that. That is nasty. He's going to go for a Hellion run by, though. Maybe he can get some more harassment damage done. He's still trying to land this base, but he just can't do it. The burrowed Zergling still sitting underground with a middle finger in the air says, "Hey, dickhead, you can't land here." The command center tries to land it, and he's like, "It just won't land, boss. I don't know why." Which means he didn't even get warning to that. He's now going to take the top base. Hellions drive in. He's going to morph Hellbats. Denies a little bit of mining here. Now, the Zerg mineral bank is gone. The Zerg still is way ahead, though. 25 Roaches, 14 Hydras, 37 Lings. Lings aren't the best versus Hellbats, but it is what it is. Couple of Infestors, 7 Corruptors versus just a handful of Ravens and Battlecruisers. Right now, you've got a really well-balanced Zerg army. So if the Zerg, the G here, can re-drone up to about 60 workers, 70 workers, that could be awesome. But did lose a lot of bases, is starting to rebuild them all, has a giant army advantage, can easily deny this base. A few Widow Mines are getting value in the middle of the map. There's 4 Ravens over there as well. Florencio's looking like he's on his last legs. He's got a few tanks, a few Ravens, and I think we might just be seeing what happens when you play against a Zerg who just keeps rebuilding after the initial BCs killing like 30 workers, their Hellion dives. They just didn't get tilted at all. He's going to run some Hellions in and teleport 2 BCs, a desperate maneuver, trying to get something back on his opponent, but the Corruptor's coming in. Fungal's landing on the SCVs, not bad. A lot of the SCVs go down. He is trying to mass repair the planetary, which he never repaired up till now, and I think he's going to regret it, because it goes down so damned fast. Corruptor's taking down that one as well. Florencio, though, quick on the draw. He kills this base, and he sends his ravens across the map. He realizes a base trade is the only way he's going to get it because he's lost almost all mining. He's only got a few mineral patches left. He's down at less than half the army supply. Killing the income still will not win him this game, but he's saying, well, maybe I can get some magic to happen. He clears an entire base of workers on the right side. In the bottom, the double battlecruiser dives on the base. The Corruptor's coming back, though, and remember, there's no teleport available. The Corruptors are going to mince this army. Another auto turret gets another 3 workers on the top. Very nicely done for Flo. But that battlecruiser goes down, and with it, that's the last of his air army. And he's trying to rebuild Tank Thor. But remember, it's unupgraded Tank Thor versus 2/2 Roach Hydra with Groove Spines, with Muscular Augments, with Roach Speed, Glial Reconstitution. I mean, there's no way. He's at half the army supply. He has no income. He's completely dead in the water. Now, let's be real. The Zerg income is also non-existent at 20 drones, but they've got 2 hatcheries, which they can easily re-drone. These Widow Mines just fired again. These Widow Mines are getting a silly amount of damage this game. No Overseer's out, but he is morphing a new one down here, so he will clean those Widow Mines up soon enough. But there's nothing Flo could do. He's got Ravens. Okay, so this is the win condition. Sit behind your planetary and then win with auto turrets, right? And just do like Hellion and auto turret harass. And don't let the Zerg rebuild the economy, which right now, the Zerg is not rebuilding the economy. The Zerg's kind of running into a terrible position. No! No! Did he hypnotize you? Why? Why are you attacking into the planetary? There's tanks on the high ground as well. Those ones are going to start to shoot as the army moves north. Oh my god, a disaster of an engagement for the Zerg. They're actually going to clear all the tanks in the planetary, though. But man, this army, there was almost no minerals left on this base, so it's not the most high-value kill. It does put his economy back to the Stone Age, but that also opens up the opportunity for Flo to dive across the map with his Ravens. He's going to kill the economy on that 3rd base of the Zerg. Only 20 drones left. And oh man, catching so many of these long-distance mining drones right here. Ravens just hunting for whatever's left of the economy right now. There's, what, 2 drones there and another empty hatchery in the very far top right. The Ravens moving over to that side. Single Corruptor here. Flo's just battening down the hatches at home, and he's saying, if I can just run circles around you and kill your economy, I'll be fine. The G was absolutely crushing this game, and it was because at no point were they getting frustrated. They were always rebuilding. Every single time. Oh my god, again? The Widow Mines just killed 2 more roaches. Every single time they were rebuilding their economy, they weren't getting frustrated. And the one time where they're like, nah, screw it, and they just headbutt into the worst possible angle they could find. I always joke about how whenever you're losing versus Zerg, you shouldn't leave the game because you never know when a Zerg player is going to chuck a Zerg. And people are like, what's chuck a Zerg, pig? And I'm like, it's where the Zerg is winning. And the only way they could lose is by finding the worst possible attack angle, and they just shove their army into it for no reason at all and throw their whole army away. And people are like, well, that doesn't happen very much. And then you play against enough Zergs and you're like, every Zerg does this. Especially if you harass them a lot, you make them feel pressure. Zergs just like lose their shit. They lose track of where they are in the game and they freak out a little bit. Now, look at this. He's letting these Ravens. He should be hunting these down to the Corruptors, the Infestors. If he can land a fungal on those and get them with his Hydras, killing these Ravens would be huge. But the Corruptors and the Infestors and the Hydras, he should not let these Ravens get out. Remember, Florencio has no income. There's 500 minerals a minute coming in. This is still a massive advantage for the Zerg player right now. Could win this game. Don't walk into... Not again! Okay, guys, this is silly. If he walks into those Widow Mines again, I mean, these Widow Mines deserve a name. We're going to call them Bill and Ted. They've been having a most excellent adventure this game. I think this is Bill, and that's Ted on the right. Bill with 2 kills, Ted with 5. They've done a heck of a lot of splash damage on top of that as well. Ravens stopping to pick off Overlords randomly on the map as well now. Okay, looks like Bill and Ted going to fire off a few more shots. A couple Hydras go down. Oh, man. How have Bill and Ted killed this many units? It's ridiculous. Oh, he throws 2 fungals, only needed 1 of them, wasting a bit of that energy. Fungal is one of the renewable resources you have. Look at that, Florencio's floated his last command center down. He's dropping some mules. He's only got 6 SCVs. Pretty scary ball of Terran units. You definitely don't want to run into that. Ooh, okay, the G does show a little bit more restraint this time. But look at this. Overlords keep getting taken down by auto turrets. Florencio's going for harass. The G clearly needs to go back to defend that. It looks like he's going to do some neural parasite. Oh, that's actually a really cute move. He neurals a Thor. Oh my god, the G! The G is, even if he just gets 1 tank, that'd be huge. He's going to get 2 siege tanks, but mass auto turret to answer it. Florencio spamming down auto turrets. He finally scans at home. Does lose 2 siege tanks, though, to a single infestor. But the drones did not escape. If you lose the hatchery, it's not the end of the world, but losing the drones is massive. That's why we've got 4 workers up there on the right side as we speak. The Spire is building right now. He's trying to rebuild that so he can get something to hunt these guys down. He's got 2 Corruptors. He's got Hydras and Infestors, though. He could jump on these, especially if he traps them with Fungal. Oh, no. They get away. You could tell he was looking for it, but his army got left behind anyway. The G lets them escape that income. Looks like it's something where Florencio can rebuild. He's got plenty of gas in the bank. He could squeeze out a few battle cruisers. There's not much that shoots up here. And what do you do as the Zerg player? I honestly feel like just get more infestors, right? You've got Neuroparasite. It counters all of these units. It may not counter them, but they get countered by Fungal and Hydras. If you can Neural the Thors, it's game over so quickly. But he hasn't managed to do it. The G with 4,000 gas in the bank starts a pack of Swarm Hosts. This last mining hatchery of the G is in huge trouble. There's actually 2 mineral patches in the natural, so false statement. This is not the last economy. He does run the drones away this time. Raven's thinking about chasing it. That's a lot of auto turrets going down. The G's going to go for the base trade. That's a really smart call because the G's going Swarm Hosts, which can spawn units literally infinitely. Florencio has Ravens, which can do the same. But I think with Burrow, the Swarm Host will be a little bit better at evading his opponent's stuff. The Corruptors come in. If he could kill the command center, that's the last chance to mine. Yes, Florencio could rebuild a command center from scratch, but this is nonetheless massive damage going down on his economy. The drones did hide in the far north of the map. The natural is still mining. Just a trickle of income coming in. Command center does float backwards. The Ravens are there as well. There's nothing guarding this main base. He's just got to be careful because there's missile turrets. The Overseers and the Corruptors could fly in and get killed. Ravens are going to drop some auto turrets. Oh, big Fungal. Throw another one. Throw another one. G. Oh, G misses the opportunity. The Ravens. Looks like they might get out of there. One of them goes down, but the auto turret's going to clear up these Corruptors. The other one goes down to the missile turrets. Both Corruptors have fallen. The G is going to clear up the main base, but at what cost? This is going to allow Florencio to push in and take out the bases of the G. I don't even know what's happening right now. There's 4 very damaged Ravens that are almost out of energy. Swarm Hosts are clearing everything up. Having lost the Corruptors, Florencio can now hide buildings in the corners of the map, which cannot be eliminated unless the Zerg is able to mine enough to rebuild a flying unit. Right now, he has enough money for only 1 Corruptor, so at the very least, Florencio could try and force a draw. StarCraft, Florencio building the command center down here as well. So he's going to rebuild on the other side of the map. Okay. Oh, man, this game is so weird. The Zerg does not have enough money to rebuild another hatchery. He's rebuilding a hatchery here? There's no minerals here, though. What a weird place to build a hatchery. You think you'd at least build there where there's a bit of minerals to mine, but I guess just wants it as a building to survive this scenario. Can do some long distance mining, so that's something. These starports are going to burn down. That's actually pretty nice. The factories in the top right could easily get out to the dead space, though, where nothing can reach them from the ground. The tanks and the Thors are going to clear this out. Will the Broodlings do any damage? Oh, the friendly fire from the tanks is actually big there. So you got to watch out when you're clearing a base with siege tanks like this. You're going to notice the Broodlings can actually drag friendly fire onto the Thors. Another one. Another shot gets taken there. He's going to unsiege his tanks. Yeah, you're better off just moving through here as Florencio, making sure you don't friendly fire yourself down. 4 factories coming down as well right now. It is 4 Swarm Hosts, 10 Roaches, 2 Ravagers, 5 Hydras. Not a bad little army. But in terms of raw ranged firepower, as well as renewable energy, the Raven Thor tank seems like it's a little bit better quality. Only a 4 army supply lead for Terran, for the Zerg player right now. But Roach is some of the worst supply in the game. These drones, what are they going to do? Start long distance mining. Oh, that is awkward. I think what you want to do is you want to try and find... Is there still an Infestor alive? Oh, we lost his Infestor. That's such a bummer. Because just a few Fungals in these units would be massive. Flo's been mass repairing his stuff. Floating a command center in over here as well. Yeah, other than Neural, Fungal would have been good for wearing these units down. But also, you've got the ability to just use Swarm Hosts. I feel like if it was 8 Swarm Hosts, I would favor the G. 4 Swarm Hosts may not be enough to get through the initial firepower of the Thors. They might just shoot them down before they really connect. Looks like a pack of Roach Hydra gets left at home here. Oh, so the G's trying to split the army and use the Swarm Host to harass. Well, that's very cute. He's going for the command center right now, but a nice quick lift. Only the Hydras can attack that. Pick off a few SCVs. Not a bad move there. The Locusts, look at that. They're even being microed. He's going to try and target a tank, I believe. That's what I'd go for here. It goes in. Ooh, so close. 10 hit points on that siege tank. Barely surviving, but oh no! What are you doing? Oh no, the G! The G burrowed the Swarm Hosts and just let his Hydras go down. He just lost him. Oh, now he's running Roaches in. The auto turrets clean up a Swarm Host and a bunch of Roaches and Hydras. A disaster for the G, who's now down 11 army supply. The Ravens used up most of their energy, but the G, okay, gets a tank. He's fighting at a pretty good angle. I just don't know if he has the firepower. The Hydra tries to get rid of a Raven, does manage to take it down, and a siege tank. So a siege tank and a Raven do fall. The Ravager's going to try and bile, but they are outranged by these units. Big Biles land, takes out an SCV, lands on the Thor as well. There's 14 drones on this map, apparently. Where are they all? Apparently, they're all burrowed up in the corner of the main base. Who knew? Oh my god, I had no idea. There's drones all around this map. If only all these drones were mining right now, we'd be able to rebuild some units, get a spawning pool, mix some zerglings in there, something along those lines. 3 ravens are still up. They're getting repaired. 5 Thors. The tanks have all gone down. There's 1 Widow Mine in the very left. These 2 SCVs still hiding in a corner of the map. Barracks in the very top left. Command center there, not mining right now. Just the 4 factories. The queen comes out. She's going to start hitting these units, but the ravens, all that's going to do is lure them in. A corruptor got built. He built a single corruptor, did the G. Oh no. But look at that. It just instantly gets killed by the Thors and the Raven auto turrets. The corruptor was not the right call. A corruptor takes forever to kill ravens anyway. Always feels like it'd be nice to have flying units to chase them down, but it's more about Viper with parasitic bomb is much better because you can just drop that on them and run away. Keep doing that over time to wear them down. There's only 3 roaches and a hydra, really? Oh man, way too many units have died to the auto turrets. These ravens, I think they're going to be able to finish the game right here. They are jumping on top of the economy of the Zerg player, and it seems like the G showed such good poise in the early game, not getting thrown off, not getting distracted, and continuing to build up. But in the late game, just was like, headbutt into the planet. It was that point where there was tanks and Thors there, and they attacked from here around a corner into the ultimate death zone of tank planetary Thor. That was such a huge mistake for the G, where, you know, even though their economy was damaged, they were up against a Terran with literally 0 economy, at which point your 1.5 bases of drones is massive comparatively. Even though it doesn't feel good for that stage in the game, you can turn that into 2 bases, 3 bases, make as many units as you want. Florencio is completely stuck in a corner. He had no play other than run around and harass the economy and hold a strong defensive position, but he did it so well. I love the way he had Hellions, like he did the BC dive on the south, then his Hellions dove the top, then the auto turrets came in, then he managed to somehow hide those ravens over here, which by all means should have been caught by the infestors, the corruptors, and the hydras. Look at this, he's even bringing the drones right now. The swarmos have all been hunted down. I mean, that's it. The G playing a pretty epic, fun game here with Florencio. I wonder if he's going to respect that or if he's going to tell Florencio to eat a dick. I don't know which one it's going to be. Usually it's the latter option of those two. But Florencio, you know what, mate? He always likes us on the edge of our seat. He's like, you know what? You know, other players would have just knelt over and keeled over and died after those battle cruisers, those first 7 BCs got sniped. But him, nah, he just kept on harassing. And the G says GFG, good friggin' game. Heck diddly, yeah. All right, it's such a nice break. I've been casting so many of the salt mines lately. To see the G realize that was indeed actually just an amazingly fun game and go, good fucking game, man. That was awesome. GG, well played. Thank you very much, Florencio, for sending us in some more replays. He's been sending me some messages, guys. We've been having a little chat, and he said, oh, I've got more replays on the way. Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure to include wins, losses. I got some new strats I'm figuring out. He says he's feeling a lot more comfortable with his MMO mouse as well. So he's got like all these hotkeys and different, you know, buttons that he's bound to an MMO mouse with like 15 buttons on it. He's like, I've moved on from the Xbox controller. I have a 15 button MMO mouse that I've used to play, which I still think is absolutely bonkers and I would not advise to anybody. But I'm very curious to see how it goes for him. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you guys enjoyed the show, don't forget to check out some of the other Florencio files up on the screen. And of course, a massive thanks to everyone who's been supporting the Patreon, especially Jacob G, our resident Leviathan, Colonel SC, and Max Ann, who are also conductors of the train to Dicktown. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.